Hello, everyone. All this fire, right? How much fun. I'm going to be so hot from sitting here after this, but it's worth it. I wanted to have the Native American presence here, and because our talk is in honor of the Native Americans, so I thought, what better way to bring their energy here than to have fire, light some fire. So, I would like to thank everyone who showed up tonight for this amazing full moon in Pisces. And start as we usually do by thinking of 3 things we're grateful for. I'm grateful for this full moon because it gives us an opportunity to have ceremony. You know, I say this all the time. When you use the astrological alignments and the lunar cycles to co-create with the divine, it creates a powerful way to bring your manifestations into reality that much quicker. So as we're moving into the 5th dimension, we need to learn these ancient sacred secrets, right? To manifest our desires into the physical that much more rapidly. Let me get us some sage lit. So that's the first thing I'm grateful for, is this amazing full moon in Pisces. This fire is getting hot. I'm also grateful to each of you who show up every week for these events, right? When we do these ceremonies, it gives me a beautiful opportunity to share my wisdom with the world and live my purpose, because this is my purpose as a light worker and aspiring medicine woman, to share these ancient sacred truths with you. So I'm grateful for each of you who continue to show up and give me your support. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I'm also grateful because my medicine woman, Jody Redhawk, said we have a special guest tonight. Chief Ayano is here with us tonight. He came to her today in spirit and wanted to let me know he would be here with me and how appreciative the Native Americans were to me giving their story a voice. You know, they're not allowed, the ones that have been, are no longer with us, will never get to tell their story. And with the way the Native Americans have been treated, they don't have much of a platform to speak these truths. So Chief Ayano is with us tonight, wanting to thank me for coming to you to share this wisdom with the world. So let's get into it, right? I'm posting an amazing article with this. And what it talks about is this. You know, when Christopher Columbus came here and said he discovered the New World, but there were already people living here. Isn't that funny? So it seems to me the Native Americans had already discovered the New World. And not only were they not embraced and given credit for finding this amazing New World, they were persecuted and tucked away in hiding. Much like the Jewish people by Hitler when Hitler was trying to eradicate the Jews, or when the African Americans were put into slavery. There's been a long reign of the ruling elite. You know that 1% I'm always talking about that rule the other 99% of us? Of trying to imprison, persecute, and eradicate those who don't obey and don't do as they're told, right? What Christopher Columbus was really doing when he came here discovering a place they were going to come to set up shop, right? And they didn't care who was already in that place where they were setting up shop. They were going to find a place they thought they could create this illusionary world we live in called the Matrix, and they would eradicate anyone who got in their way. We've seen a long history throughout our world with slavery, with the Holocaust, and with the awful tragedies that happened to the Native Americans of evil reigning our world. They talk about in the Bible the Great Deception. The Great Deception, well, Dorlands, hate to break it to y'all, the Great Deception is now, and it has been here. And it's when we were convinced by our Bible and by our organized religion that our Father in heaven was okay with violence and sacrificial slaughtering of animals. All the sacrificial slaughtering in the Bible they talk about that they used to do back in the day as an obedience to their Lord, that is a Luciferian practice. I bring this to your attention now to let you know that Lucifer has reigned on this world. That is why we had slavery. That is why we had the Holocaust. That is why we had the awful persecution and horrible treatment of the Native American people. And, Lucifer, a fallen angel, who offered this world to Jesus, well, he couldn't have offered it to him if it wasn't his to offer. We're moving through this time of ascension to the fifth dimension. And remember, a dimension is not a place. It's a state of consciousness. It's a state of being. So Lucifer's reign and influence on our world is ending forever. It is done. And all the Luciferian systems associated with poisoning our food, air, water, trafficking our children for Luciferian practices, poisoning our children with vaccinations, all that is coming to an end. So continue to watch the current school systems, government structures, economic systems. Continue to watch them fall, and don't be sad. It is a beautiful thing they're falling, because they sucked. I mean, really, they sucked. Come on. Like, the cards are stacked against us. We're not supposed to win. The 1% is supposed to win, and they've been winning with their yachts and their vacations and in Hollywood with the ridiculous amount of salaries. And I hate to say it, even the NFL players. We put too high of a value on worthless things. Worthless things. Worthless. Absolutely worthless. We should not be condoning competition and killing and all the violence we see on our television sets. Hate to break it to y'all, you can only serve one master. And if you're watching horror shows, even though it's just entertainment, you are serving Lucifer's agenda. If you're watching negativity and violence, you are serving the wrong master. Your Father in heaven would never approve of the smut that goes on in those television sets. In fact, the TV was designed as a divisive tool to break down the American family, to demoralize us. So let's get into it, because all our Native American elders are here in spirit in the backyard, and they want me to get to the point, because they're really excited for me to share this with you. So when the Native Americans were being pushed into hiding and eradicated from our world, the Hopi elders knew that the world that these new settlers were building, their new world, was out of alignment with divine law, natural law, and our rights gifted to us by our Creator in heaven as natural citizens. So the Hopis prophesied that it was only a matter of time in the not too distant future when this system would fail, and fail miserably. And the Hopis also knew that we'd get to a certain point in our evolution where we would be passing through a place in space called the galactic center. And in the galactic center, as we pass through this place in space, the energies are higher, which means things that are not of an elevated vibration, like separation consciousness, labels associated with race, ethnicity, political party, hate, anger, violence, greed, jealousy, Those things cannot exist in the fifth dimension. It's an impossibility. So the Helpy Elders knew that when we got to this point in our evolutionary journey, in this place in space, passing through the galactic center, that Mother Earth would ascend to a higher plane of consciousness. And these things that were out of alignment with our Divine Father's law in heaven would fall away. And it's such a beautiful prophecy. They prophesied that when we got to this point in our journey, that light warriors, light workers, and people would be systematically woken up at strategic times and be re-educated on these ancient sacred truths. They would learn and they would study and they would be placed in strategic points all around the globe. And they would wait as their brothers and sisters awaken from their slumber. And as the old 3D systems die and come falling down around, people are going to get desperate, wanting to know the true nature of their reality, wanting to know how to get along in this world in alignment with the divine will of God. And the Hopi Elders knew that the little light warriors stationed around the globe would be waiting in the wings. Because see, these light workers, people like myself, educated in these ancient secret truths, are waiting, doing like what I'm doing now, sharing this wisdom, slowly helping my brothers and sisters to awaken to the truth of who they are. So the awakened ones, who are already woken, like myself, and many of you, have already crossed the Rainbow Bridge into 5D. And now we wait there to reach our hand out to help our brothers and sisters over. That is what the Hopi prophecy of crossing the Rainbow Bridge of Ascension is. You know, you can't stop what's happening. We are moving into 5D. There's no stopping it. And while you may have known the rules of engagement for operation in the 3D world, those systems are dying. Man's law, which governs this world, is dying with it. It's time to educate yourself on universal law, universal truth, right? Because moving into 5D, that's what we're going to have. And before I get into this next part, I want to say something. A beautiful light worker and good friend of mine, Stacy Stripe, we speak every morning, and I sent her the first paragraph of my article, and she says, "Oh goodness, Carla, I feel so bad. My ancestors were one of the ones that came here, and were those settlers that did all those awful things to the Native Americans." And I told her this: don't feel bad. You've lived many lives, and you have both been persecuted and the persecutor. You have been the slave owner and the slave. You know, we have lived, our soul is as old as eternity. You have been on every side of every war. So we need to quit holding on to all this like judgment and anger. You persecuted me, you did this. Well, you know, in another life, you did it too. Come on, people. Put your critical thinking skills hats on. Your soul is immortal. You live for eternity. You've lived other places as other beings. So let's just, you know, start looking at things from a higher consciousness perspective, and let's put the past behind us. And let's move forward into our future, right? And build our new world. You know, I'm always referencing to y'all my mentor, Jody Redhawk. My mentor, Jody Redhawk. And let me tell you, this is why. I believe that in order to be an evolved being, you must remain teachable and always be willing to learn from those wiser than you. So it is this time now, I tell you this because it's time for all of us to get our mentor. You find someone whose life is working in an amazing way. Don't go get a mentor about relationship advice from somebody who's got a shitty relationship. You go find someone's life who's working in an amazing way in the area you're looking to improve yours. And you learn from them. We must not be arrogant, thinking we know it all. Because while we may have known a lot more living in 5D, living in 3D, those rules of engagement are finishing. You're seeing that system die. So, you know, you might as well just let it go and quit resistant to the change. Understand, this is the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time of unfoldment and enlightenment and change. You know, there's 12 dimensions. We're just graduating to the 5th. There's always more to learn. So let's remain teachable and don't assume we know everything. And don't take my word for it. Go find out for yourself what universal truth is. Because it's not my truth, it's the universe's truth. It's not specific to me, it's universal truth. It goes by natural law, and your rights gifted to you by your Creator in heaven as a natural citizen. You know, talking about mentors and being teachable. Jody was reading my article and she said, Carla, you know, you really, now that you become enlightened, need to be more careful with your words. And we always refer to God in heaven as our Father. We must understand God is omnipotent. He is both male and female. She calls him Mapa, like Mama Papa. I think that's cute. So in the future, when I refer to Source, God, our Creator in heaven, I will be using terminology that makes it more androgynous, male and female, because, you know, that's another thing we're mistaken about. We're not made in God's image. God is not looked like us, just bigger and smarter. He's everything that is. He's unimaginable. He's male and female, and he's everything. He's every molecule. He's everything. You can't visualize what he is because he's not conceptual like that. You know, so it's time we break tradition with the old ways and wake up to the truth of who we are and embrace this, because you know what? We're building, just like the settlers came here back then with the Luciferian agenda, the ruling elite, that it came here with the agenda to enslave us and persecute us and make us miserable. Well, their reign is ending. We get a chance now to build our new world. So let's take responsibility and act with good character and start to educate ourselves on concepts and values. Quit giving our monies to like people, businesses that are associated with the Carlyle Group and George Soros. And I will be getting y'all all a list of businesses that are affiliated with them. That is the Luciferian spirit. That is the system that's dying. Money is energy. Time to start giving our money, being conscious who we're giving our money to. What types of values do they have? Not if they have a cheap product, or if they market the best. Are they good people? Do we want that energy in our world? Time to take more responsibility for what we're giving our energy to. Turn the TV off. I can't say it enough. I hate that television. Turn it off. Okay. So I'm sweating. It's so hot. So we're going to do our meditation. Fine. So I'd like everyone to take a deep breath. Long, deep breaths in and out. Breathe in love and exhale light. I would like for you to imagine a beautiful white light entering the corner of the room where you're sitting, filling the space around your body. This is your protective white light, ensuring that nothing that isn't your highest good comes into your energy field while we go on this meditation journey. Remember, focus on your breathing. Long, deep breaths in and out. Now imagine, if you would, a beautiful rainbow-colored cord stretching from the soles of your feet, traveling deep into the center, deep into the core of Gaia. Imagine that beautiful rainbow cord grounding its energy in to the crystalline grid of Mother Earth. would like to call in our higher selves, our angels, guides, ancestors, all the Native American people, past and present, Chief Ayano, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, the fairies, Lord Metatron, Source, and Gaia to be with us now. We are the violet flame. We are the violet flame. In action in us now. We are the violet flame. To light alone we vow. We are the violet flame. In mighty cosmic power. We are the light of God, shining every hour. We are the violet flame, blazing like the sun. We are God's sacred power, freeing everyone. About releasing, quietly or out loud, think to yourself, for this full moon in Pisces, what can you release? What people, places, things, ideas, beliefs about your world can you release at this full moon in Pisces to empower you and propel you across the rainbow bridge of ascension into 5D? back into their bodies and come out of their meditative state, because we're going to close tonight's ceremony out because I am so hot and I'm sweating buckshot. I would like to thank Chief Ayano for making his spirit here energetically in spirit, and for telling my medicine woman that he's going to begin working with me. It's a great honor and a great privilege, and let this be an understanding and a lesson to each of you that you can connect with the energy of the other side, the angels, the fairies, the passed on Indian chiefs. The invisible realms are very active, and you can connect. But first you have to believe it's possible in order for it to be possible. You know, we've cheated ourselves in this world. We say, we'll believe it when we see it. Well, darling, that's how you live, and you took all the magic out of your life. Because in order to pull anything into the physical manifestation, you have to believe it before you'll ever see it. I love each and every one of you. I hope you can't see how much I'm sweating. Good night, and namaste. Can't stop.